notes and go through and compile everything and make it a little bit more standardized. Part of the issue is sometimes over the years there had been a lot of other things lumped under chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia that were other conditions. And so it made it a little bit more difficult to treat, but we're just going to go straight forward with it. But before we get started, you guys have some questions? We'll give people a few minutes to come in, and I'll just answer a couple questions real quick. Go ahead and unmute yourself or type it in. Thanks to Birmingham and Louisville for the last couple of weekends. We've been on the road with those places in the South. We're out to California this next weekend.
Class last weekend was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good class, huh? Yeah, both of them together are actually. The one in Louisville is pretty intense too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Greg.
It was really good too.
Good. Hey, Balaji.
Yeah, good evening, Greg. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Sorry to bother you. I guess last Tuesday I had asked this question regarding my friend who had COVID and is still struggling with GERD and UTI issues. I had sort of sent that email. So I'm just wondering if you.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get the emails. I've been on the road the whole time, so
okay.
I'm going to try to get to it in the next few days.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay because he was struggling. I was just wondering if at all. Yeah, that's okay. I'll wait. Thank you.
What can help with
spondylosis? That's quite a difficult situation because part of the issue is you have a vertebrae that has slid forward, and when it slides forward like that, the body starts to begin to develop autoimmune disorder. So the thing that we did last week with autoimmune issues, that will be helpful. And then you can augment that treatment with applying marjoram to the spine directly, and then have them do long, slow, deep breaths just by themselves, or you could follow the sinus pattern with hyssop decumbens or spruce sitka, the sitka oil. And, a couple of things have to happen. You have to loosen up the diaphragm, and you have to start loosening up the spine. But at the same time, you also have to offset the issues with the immune system. Within a very short amount of time, that becomes an autoimmune disorder. And so, when the vertebrae move side to side, it really impacts the immune system in general. But when it slides forward, it actually turns to an autoimmune issue. And so you're really treating two different aspects with that. So use the notes from last week to offset the autoimmune aspects, and then the marjoram topically along with hyssop to loosen up the diaphragm. Whenever you loosen up the diaphragm, you also loosen up the muscles that are along the spine. And so it's a kind of a 1-2 punch with that.
I don't know if I said it right. It's spondyloarthritis.
Oh, spondyloarthritis.
And they said the pain is on the right knee.
Okay. Yeah. Completely different condition.
Sorry.
No, I finished her sentence and thought it was spondylosis. It's on the right knee. Okay. So you would use joint relief topically, and then you would augment it also with probably some German chamomile, just to reduce inflammation and help disperse the fluid retention. And then from time to time, use something that's antispasmodic, something like Petitgran or basil. My first choice would be marjoram. I would use marjoram. The antispasmodic blend would be good. Turtle Point blend would be good. But if you just had single oils, one of those choices, Petitgran, basil, or marjoram, but the joint relief and rotating it with German chamomile. And so, follow the steps for making ointments, and which is about 25 to 30 drops per ounce, and put it in a massage oil or lotion, and be sure to mix it up well, and then you can apply that 2 or 3 times a day. That should help substantially.
In reference to, go ahead, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Greg, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Greg, I have a question for you.
Fire away.
And this is for myself. I just came from the doctor today, and she said that I have extremely high levels of cortisol.
Cortisol.
Yes.
Yeah, vetiver is usually pretty good to reduce cortisol. You could take a few drops of it internally and then take baths in it, and even put it in lotion or like in a spray and then spray it on the body.
Okay.
If you wanted to go through and do an inhalation process, I would follow one of two, or you could even do them both. The sinus pattern, pattern, or that whole body pattern where you go through like the soles of the feet, the ankles. Go through and do that. Either one of those should help substantially to lower cortisol.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's usually just our lifestyle and our pace of life. The adrenals get kicked up a bit, and so it can be that. And so if that doesn't work over, say, 2 or 3 week period of time, then there's some other choices. But I usually start people on vetiver just right off the bat with that.
Okay, thank you, Greg. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Keep me posted in about 3 weeks or so.
Yes, I will definitely, because since the levels are so abnormal, they say that the highest should be 18. They say maybe 25. Mine's over 30. So it's going to take a few weeks, but I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much.
At least it should start be moving downward. You know what I mean? Even if it's not normal, it should still be working its way down.
Okay. Yes, definitely. I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much, Greg.
Perfect. You're so welcome.
Hey, Greg, this is Robin. This is a follow-up question on the vetiver.
Hey, Robin.
Hi. Heidi was singing the praises of vetiver baths, and so I took one the other night, and I could not sleep afterwards. It was like I was totally wired, like I had drunken a bunch of coffee. Does that make sense to you, or did I put too much in the tub?
No, too much in the tub shouldn't have done that. The only thing that I could think of that happens, are you real fatigued right now?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happens when you get real fatigued is you start to have a paradoxical response. And so what happens is things that will make you restful will make you kind of wired, and things that will wire you would actually make you restful. And so, I mean, as weird as it sounds, I would try using something like thyme or ginger, something a little bit stimulating at bedtime to see if it won't knock you out.
That's so funny, because my intuition was to do a coffee bath. And I was like, no, you're exhausted.
The coffee's not going to have the caffeine, so it won't be stimulating like that. But it's very cleansing, and it's very stimulating to the lymphatic functions in the skin. And so that still might work, actually, because it's not necessarily super relaxing. It's more the relaxation comes from the energetic expelling. And so that actually could make you rest. But if that doesn't work, try something that's a little stimulating, like rosemary or ginger, something like that. And as soon as you start to get regular sleep, then you go back to like vetiver or, something like that. But it just means that you're fatigued. That's all it means.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
In regards to what you were saying with the first thing, I don't remember the spondylosis. Yeah, you were saying something about the spine moving side to side. They wanted you to repeat what happens when the spine moves side to side.
Whenever the spine moves side to side, when there's a vertebrae that's out of place, it always negatively impacts the immune system, like it diminishes the immune response. And so anytime there's been subluxations that have been there for long periods of time, you want to correct the subluxations, but at the same time, you also need to spend a little bit of time strengthening the immune response. So side to side is just the immune system is diminished, like it's weakened. But if it slides forward, it actually starts to have the immune system start attacking the body. It becomes an autoimmune issue. And so that actually has a name, spondylosis. And so, yeah, if it's just side to side, you can even do the first part of what we're talking about today, which is, tied to treating fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. But part of it is, strengthening the immune response. So you can do that just right off the bat.
Or the spondyloarthritis, can tamano oil be used?
Yeah, tamano can be used as the base oil. That actually would be a bit more effective. And
but
so
still with the joint relief.
Yeah, still with the joint, still with the essential oils that we talked about. You would use that as a base oil. That enhances the essential oils that you'd be using. It's not meant to be a replacement for something. It's meant to be something that you augment treatment with, rather than just using a base oil that really has no super big therapeutic value other than being a carrier for essential oils. The thing that we tried to do with the different carrier oils that we're putting out for you guys is to really seriously augment the effects of the essential oils with the carrier oils. And so we're trying to make them as therapeutic as possible. We're also gonna, start adding some things like coenzyme Q10 and things like that to some of the carrier oils to further augment what they do, so that when you're treating something with like arthritis and things like that, that you don't need to have as many applications. But I'm going through and just being very careful about sourcing, so I can keep costs down and effectiveness up and cost down as much as possible. So
2 real quick questions.
Yes.
When would the COVID kit be released? My sister is traveling in 2 weeks to India, and I want to see about sending her that.
Did we make it last week or no?
No, we haven't yet.
I will try to get that up tomorrow.
Will the adrenal support also help with cortisol levels?
It actually won't reduce the cortisol levels. You got to do the vetiver, and then after that we'll see. But the adrenal support is just to strengthen the adrenals. It doesn't reduce the cortisol. Like the issue with a lot of things is there's so many different functions. Just because it has like the adrenal name in it doesn't mean that it treats everything associated with the adrenals. Sometimes you have to be really specific with what each thing does. And so that's just generally treating and strengthening the adrenals. But as far as lowering cortisol, you got to be a bit more specific. Okay. Chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. So, it's not really something where you can say there's one particular issue that needs to be addressed with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. In the old days, we used to refer to this as neurasthenia. And neurasthenia basically means depleted nerves, right? And so a lot of times when you said depleted nerves, you were talking about the somatic nerves, which are your voluntary nerves. When you make your arm move, you're thinking, I'm going to make my arm move. Where the involuntary nerves are like the things that have to do with respiration and your gut function, things like that. So there's another component with what people refer to as psychosomatic. It's never really seen, I've never really seen it be given a name, but it has to do with the enteric nerves in your gut. And this is sometimes referred to as the second brain or the primal brain. And the interesting thing about this part of the nervous system is all your nerves throughout the body are constantly giving and receiving information from the brain, right? So if something damages that nerve, the nerve below the damaged area no longer functions anymore, and the piece above the damaged area still can send information to the brain and receive information from the brain. Now, there are no exceptions except the enteric nerves. And the enteric nerves are this mesh-like kind of web of nerves that's down in your gut. And actually, you can completely sever the nerve that sends information back and forth to the brain and between the brain and the enteric nerves. And the enteric nerves will still function on their own and still do the processes that they're supposed to do. So this means that this is an independent portion of your nervous system that is functioning outside of your brain. And so this is why this is talked about as being the second brain, or the brain in your gut. It has to do with a lot of automatic functions in the body and a lot of primal responses and drives, right? You don't really think about, your thought processes don't make something happen with the enteric nerves, but there can be what you would call a psychoenteric response, just like there is a psychosomatic response. I've never seen any information written about it, but therapeutically, have treated it probably more than 100 times and have achieved clinical results with going about treating this. And this is one of the things that we've used in treating chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia over a period of time. You are not going to see something about this written anywhere else. If you do, please bring it to my attention, because I've never seen it anywhere. But we have to go through and we have to treat several segments. So one of the things that starts to happen is the body starts to get run down in particular areas and starts to get depleted, and the body either becomes hypervigilant or starts to become underactive, right? So these can affect emotions, these can affect moods, this can affect cognitive abilities, right? So a lot of times for fibromyalgia, they'll talk about having like a brain fog, or just hard to process information, hard to get things done, hard to be motivated, things like that. A lot of that is still actually biological. It is impacting your psyche, your psychological aspects, but a lot of it is still being generated from your body. And so we're going to go through and treat several pieces to try to help bring this back into balance. Now, over the years, when I would go through and treat this, I would begin treating, and then I would treat each case on a case-by-case basis. And so I would take into account what's going on with each individual person, and then kind of pull together a treatment protocol for them. So what I've done here is I pulled together kind of a standardized approach, but there's going to be times where you're going to still need to do some variations, but we tried to hit as many things as possible so that you didn't need to have a lot of clinical experience to go through and be able to treat this condition and generate a result, right? So with that, right off the bat, we're going to start with improving immune function. And so this is also taken out of the etheric healing class, this one little component here, but we're going to cover it again here. And we're breaking it down kind of piece by piece, right? And then after that, we're going to do some work with brainwave activity. So we're going to do as much as we can today. And if we don't get it all done today, we're going to follow up with it again next week. And so with that, let's have you, Let's have you reach for basil or palo santo would be your best two bets right off the bat. Are we good there? Like it seems like everybody's good. Okay, so right now, just we're not necessarily gonna have you do a bunch of evaluations with your body, but let's have you check how you feel emotionally, how your moods feel, what your stress levels are like, what your fatigue levels are like. Just check in with yourself physically, emotionally, your mood, mentally. How you're able to call up information and process it. Just kind of go through and think about some things for a bit.
One person doesn't have either of those, and I have a list of oils they do have.
Yeah, why don't you fire away?
Arbor vitae, artemisia, bushy knapgrass, clary sage, benzoin, cape snowbush, kapoor, kachuri, nutmeg, aura cleanse, chakra root cleanser, eucalyptus, McCarthy, eucalyptus fraction.
Chakra root cleanser. Okay, so this for this inhalation, you're only going to focus on your lungs. You're not really going to follow a pattern. You're just inhaling, impacting the lungs. Okay, so start to take long, slow, deep breaths. Again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And your awareness is simply on your lungs. That's it. Keep inhaling. And then just be still. Begin inhaling again. You're still just focused on your lungs. Keep inhaling. And then just be still. And now begin inhaling again. And just be still. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to treat the basic chakra. We're going to treat the basic chakra, which also means we're treating the arms and the legs, which are extensions of the basic chakra. So with this, we're looking at using lemongrass or Litsea cubeba. Most likely you would have lemongrass. How are we doing with that one?
Okay, I'll go through with what they have. Arborvitae, Artemisia, bushy macgrass, clary sage, benzoin, Cape snowbush, caporculature, and nutmeg. Art cleanser, chakra root cleanser, eucalyptus, McCarthy, and red gum, glory of Lebanon, mugwort, Spasmophilia, stresses, calamus, clove, ginger, helichrysum, infinite light, lavender, malleate, Moroccan type, Artemisia, atlas cedar, German chamomile, marjoram, panacea, pink grapefruit, sylvester pine, tamano. A lot of angels, blood cedar, celery seed, earth, golden eucalyptus, oneness, almonds, hyssop, marjoram, spruce, lavender, coffee, eucalyptus, frankincense, ginger, helichrysum, juniper, lemon, marjoram, orange, peppermint, rosemary, spikenard, basil, tea tree, cedar, vetiver, vitex, yarrow, lang, cedar, galbanum, hyssop, moses, mugwort, producing results, rue, marjoram, spikenard, and spikenard.
Why don't you try rue? Okay, so begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your tailbone, the bottom of your tailbone, which is the basic chakra. Continue inhaling. You're still on the basic chakra. You're going to be there for a little bit. Just be still. Again, begin inhaling. Still on your tailbone, the basic chakra. Continue to inhale. Your awareness is on your armpits. Move your awareness to your elbows. Move your awareness to the wrists, front and back of your wrist. The palms of your hands. Your awareness is on the palms of your hands. Move your awareness to the hips, the dimple in the butt cheek area, the side of your hips. Your knees. Front and back of your knees, below your kneecaps and the crease on the backside of your knees. Your ankles. The soles of your feet. The awareness is still on the soles of your feet. Just be still. Just be still. we're actually going to cycle through that again. So again, your awareness is on the bottom of your tailbone, the basic chakra. Go to your armpits. Keep your awareness on the armpits. Your elbows. Your wrist. The palms of your hands. Your hips. Your knees, front and back knees. Your ankles. The soles of your feet. Just be still. Just let go of everything. Just be still. Now we're going to do some things to strengthen the spleen. So here are your choices. If you're fancy and you have some St. John's wort, that would be great. If you're fancy and you also have poplar balsam, that would be great. Any sort of thyme will work. And if you don't have thyme, lavender. So again, St. John's wort, poplar balsam, thyme, or lavender. Okay, we're good. Okay, so you're going to begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your front spleen, which is just below the ribs on the front side. Yeah, that'll work. I'll add that to my notes too. Move your awareness to the back spleen. You're still on the back spleen. Move your awareness to your navel. Move your awareness to the palms of your hands. The soles of your feet. Just be still. Again, begin inhaling. Your awareness again is on your front spleen, below your ribs, on the left-hand side. On the back side, go down to your navel. The palms of your hands. The soles of your feet. Just be still, be aware. Just be still. Okay. We're now going to go to the solar plexus. So we're doing a little bit of an extended version of what's in the Etheric Healing book. And so even if you have that book, this is a little bit of an extended version, a little bit more thorough. So with that, here are some choices for you. We are going to be working on the solar plexus. I'm going to just run down some choices. Blue tansy, Cape chamomile, German chamomile, catrafe, yarrow, the blends, what's that one called? Inflammed?
Yeah.
Inflammed. Now, this particular step can also be augmented by taking 1 to 2, even 3 drops of black cumin in water internally on a daily basis.
So if they have black cumin right now, could they do that instead, or are we doing this?
It's actually, black cumin would be to augment inhaling it. I don't know that inhaling it will actually work strong enough. I mean, if you don't have anything else, it's better than nothing. But the chamomiles and the yarrow work substantially better for the inhalation component of it.
Okay. Handful of people who don't have it.
If you had your choice for like the A+ choice, it is German chamomile, by the way, okay. Or the inflammed. Either one of those would be your A+ choices.
Okay. I'll go through the list, but Idaho tansy.
No.
Okay, I don't think so. Okay. Right, we'll start with this one. Sandalwood, saffron, glory of Lebanon, splendor, cistus, jasmine, unwind, salt, hyssop, tarragon, vetiver, spring, basil, rosemary, mental purity, R&R, CRC, etheric cords, liberation, Cape snowbush, African bluegrass, nutmeg, purgatory, frankincense, marjoram, lang lang, bay laurel, bushy mat grass, Joint relief, immune support, tea tree, sweet honey, lemongrass, cypress, tarragon, protection, bromelain, myrrh, peppermint, duja, rue, ginger, cistus, galbanum, terebinth, sage, eucalyptus, palo santo.
You could try the sage.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to be as good, but I mean, at least it's something.
Okay.
I mean, you can try, for those of you who don't have one of these oils, you can try sage. It's better than nothing. It's not going to work as good as these other oils, but at least it will be something. And is that?
I think the other person will have that. Let me just check.
Okay.
Real quick.
I mean, sage is still something. You know, it's
We're good. Yep.
okay, we're good. Okay, so this one's actually very short. So you're going to begin inhaling. Your awareness is on the front solar plexus. Move your awareness to the back solar plexus, which is your mid-back area. Continue to inhale. Now put your awareness on your liver, on the right-hand side below the ribs. Put your awareness on your back heart. Just be still, be aware, just let it go. Just be still. Begin inhaling on your front solar plexus. Go to your back solar plexus. Move your awareness to the liver. Move your awareness to the back heart. Just be still, be aware. Okay, now we're going to do the throat. So you can use one of the following: bay laurel, any sort of cedar, helichrysum, red spruce, which actually you're not going to have, or the lymphatic blend. Yeah, the red spruce, we just use in blends. I mean, I guess we could put it on the site. But. Okay, so we're good. Okay, begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your throat. Move your awareness down to the bottom of your throat. Move your awareness to the back of your throat. You're on the back of your throat. The jaw minors, where the jaw hinges. Okay, be still. Again, let's cycle through. Your awareness is on your throat. Your throat minor at the base of your throat. Go to the back of your throat. From your back throat, go to your jaw minors, where the jaw hinges right in front of the ear. Just let go. Okay, we're going to go to the heart. So here you have a couple choices. Any form of thyme, any of the thymes, linden blossom, a red pine, which you're not going to have, immune support, or linden supreme. What's that? Sun. No, stick. Don't start guessing what things to use. We're doing some very specific things. If you don't have the oils that I have listed, then ask for which ones to substitute. But don't start guessing what's happening here. We're doing very specific physiological treatment here. So yeah. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so begin with your front heart. Keep inhaling. Your awareness is on your front heart. Move to the shoulder minors, which are like right here where the shoulder and the chest meet, in that little crease, right? On each side. So right here, but on each side. And then the back heart. Continue to inhale on the back heart. Okay, just be still. Just be still. Okay. Again, begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your heart. Move your awareness to the shoulder minors. And now the back heart. Just be still. Be aware. Okay, last step in this protocol here. This is the first big protocol for treating this. Okay, we're looking at a couple of choices here. You're looking at Artemisia. You're looking at mugwort. You're looking at Cape snowbush, helichrysum, Kapoor Kachiri, the Three Wise Men blend, or a healing elixir. I think we're good with that, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, so begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your throat.
They're all A choices, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. All of those are A choices. Your awareness is on your throat. Move your awareness to the throat minor, the bottom of the throat. Move your awareness to the back throat. Move your awareness to the jaw minors, right in front of the ears where the jaw hinges. The temples. The back head, so opposite the eyebrows on the back side. And your forehead. Just be still, be aware. Okay, how do you feel? So this was just actually one segment. There are still 4 more segments to treating the fibromyalgia chronic fatigue syndrome. The rest aren't as long, but you know, this one we're going to be pretty thorough about. It's something that a lot of people ask. I have time for just like probably one question, and then I have an 8 o'clock appointment for another conference call. So
it's 8 o'clock right now.
Yeah, like I can squeeze in one really quick question. So we're going to post what we did tonight on Plant Prana Q&A. I've already forwarded over to Samantha. We will probably be able to get through the rest of the protocol next week, and then we'll post it all together at once. One of the things that I'm doing with this particular one is I'm also giving you choices of herbs, mushrooms, things like this that can also augment the treatment other than just treating it with essential oils. You know, we're going to go at it with as many different things as possible. And so we will post that accordingly. So
thank you, Greg.
Yeah, you bet. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and feel free to post them on Q&A or send us an email. But I do have to jump into this other conference call. So tonight ran a bit longer than I thought, but I wanted to be more thorough than normal with this, because if you really get this first component down, the other parts are much easier. So I did an extended version of this that is not in the Etheric Healing book. You know, the steps are there, but not quite as involved. So
thank you, Greg. And
you're
Sam.
so welcome.